Hey everybody, how's it going? Um, okay, so let's see now. I gotta go back over here. For the first time in a long time, I'm actually organized. I have my paper, my pen waiting, and I'm ready to go. I'm just waiting now to see what I'm missing, because I'm always missing something. Okay, so welcome to the free reads. I hope you like the countdown. I still have to get music to work on it. It was working last time. There's my boss. Oh, excuse me, boy. Drink some tea and an apple pie, and whew, burps come along. Okay. Um, okay, so thanks for everybody for coming. I have both got YouTube on one side and Facebook on the other side. I'm just gonna. Oh, what does that my face look like? No. Oh, still looks good. Not my face, but the appearance, because I moved the camera closer. Okay. Now I can see the screen better. If only I could pop this in. So, not sure if you guys are aware of, but we do have a special for Valentine's. Couldn't think of the word Valentine's there for some reason. So it's if you have two people for 1 hour, it's 30 minutes each. Then it's $100 instead of the $130 it would normally be. And who is beeping at me again? Okay. Anyway, another thing, I keep getting beeps all the time. So that's until the 14th. So if you guys are interested, then contact us. Normal, check out our website, whisperingsouls.ca, for all the specials we have and the normal reads and whatnot. So we do have we are going to be doing reads at a different store in Carlton Place, which we'll post soon. So we will post all the changes coming up. Sometime in the near 6 months, the website's going to change. And I had to get all this stuff done. Okay, so let's look to see who we have here today. So we only have two people here now. No. 27. Plus. People on the YouTube side. So if I feel very slow today, it's because I only had 4 hours sleep last night. So it's sometimes my brain is a little slow at talking, which is fine. If I say something wrong, just blame my wife. I'm sure she's good at getting complaints about me. Okay, so So we're going to look at read for Stephanie Clark. Is there a message for my mom or daughter? They're probably sick of me talking to them all the time. But well, let's see what they have to say. Open up the night with this spiritual talk. Okay, so I see three of them. So mother and the daughter. Then there's another girl there. I don't know who quite that is, but it's kind of the same age as what your daughter would have been. So I don't know when your daughter passed, but it's kind of same height as your daughter. The first thing I'm hearing is that from your mother is this was a child in a family that didn't make it, not from you, but somebody else. So that's just a spirit that's hanging around your daughter and family member. Anyway, so the first thing I'm getting from your mother is that over the next 6 months, just beware of money loss. She said she's kind of showing me that there's a male to the right of you or whatever that's kind of might be, asking for money or whatnot over the next 6 months that you have to be careful with. So I don't know if that's a partner or a friend of yours or whatever, but just be careful of the money flow. But she also says that you're going to have a really happy time over the next little while. So it's kind of like the mixture of the two, she says. Things balance off in life. So, but other than that, she says drink more water, especially when you're busy, because sometimes you forget to drink when you're busy. But all in all, she says that everything's being taken care of on her side, and you don't have to worry too much. So she says your daughter's busy visiting the world and seeing things and whatnot, and comes and visits you. And in the end, she says, yeah, you can be annoying, but you know what? She says, we love hearing you at least talk to us. There's a lot of people that don't talk to us. So we're still honored that you're talking to us. At least you're talking to us. She says, some of the people that know her and your daughter just simply don't talk or don't think they're there. And she says, yeah, we'll prove them right someday. Other than that, she says she's taking up all the time, so your daughter can't say anything to you, but that's okay. Sometime in the future, she says, I guess, sometime. She says, take care. She'll be fine. She's still hanging around you, whispering in your ear. She says that's why you keep thinking there's something in your ear, because she's whispering in it. Anyway, she says, take care. Have a good supper. Bye. Okay, so that was for Stephanie Clark. So let's see who I'm missing on this side. Okay, so Stephanie Somers. For some reason I keep thinking of a friend of mine that I trained with, but her name was Summers, not Somers. Okay, so give me a second just to make sure the volume is good so I'm not overwhelming everybody with noise. So am I too loud here? Might be. So I'm just going to reduce this just a bit. Okay, so that probably is a lot better there. Yeah, okay. I don't want to get into the red too much, so I should have checked that before I got online. Okay, so the one thing that I'm getting from your dad, he seemed to have stepped in first, so so the first thing I'm getting is that says everybody's still good, everybody's still hanging around, still waiting. So it says, like a group of us waiting for people in the family to come back, including you, before the whole group decides to move forward again. So as he says, we all travel as a group. So next time, we're going to be in different positions with each other. So, says you never know. It says you might become my father and I might become you as a kid, as a girl. He says, wouldn't that be a blessing? Rolls his eyes. Anyway, he just laughs. Says, well, it says, we're not told what it's going to be, nor do we remember. It says, I think that's a good thing. He says, he's just watching you in your life, and he says, he still sees you kind of like picking at little things and still being upset about little things. And he says, you got to realize that these little things are just there for you to be distracted from the important stuff. So if you stop being distracted from the little stuff, then the real stuff will move a lot faster and you'll be a lot happier. So when things come up, just realize, are they important or not? Are they just there to distract me? I don't know why he sees himself playing cards, or I don't know if he's playing cards or gambling. I'm not quite sure, but it's like he's playing them with somebody. Yeah, it's kind of like blackjack or something. Anyway, there's a poker. Like I said, anyway, he might be a poker player. He's still taking a lot of care of the family and just wanting you to know that he's not going to be leaving until you come over. He's already said that. Says your grandmother is having a party over on the other side. I'm assuming birthday party, I'm not sure, but some kind of party. So you can't really talk long because he's going to run over there and family get together, and because you know how your grandmother was. She just laughed. Spirits don't need to do that. Anyway, so she says, love you, and I gotta go. So, so that's all I have for Stephanie Somers. Stephanie Somers? Or I do a Stephanie on the other side. Okay. Well, Suzanne, sometimes I got a lot of work to do and a lot of stuff during the day. And I don't sleep well at night, so I usually only get about 4 to 6 hours, probably. Well, probably around 7 hours, but they're broken up in like pieces of three. So get tired. Anyway, let's move on here. Um, well, Nancy, the first thing I'm kind of getting from your spirit guide is uh, it says one of the things that you need to understand about life is to find contentment. It says, and he's also saying, like maybe you push yourself a little too much to make other people happy. So he says, if you want to learn new things and you want to be spiritual, you also have to be a bit selfish for your own time. So the more you put out to help people, the less time you have to be spiritual. And he says, in the end, you don't really have to be spiritual anyways. It says, you don't have to heal people. You don't have to do anything spiritual. You just got to finish your lessons. And then once you do that, you're happy. He says, the more you get rid of negativity, the more you're able to do the abilities you want to do, and the more you're able to help people. This doesn't make any sense. Anywho, that's for you, Nancy. Nancy Boast. I have not said that phrase in a very long time. Okay. Okay, I'm a little confused. Why are these little 5 numbers and 2 numbers? Is that shared? I'm just trying to see all those symbols all over the place, and I don't know what they are. Okay. Teresa Lee. Is your dad around? So, yes, he is around. He is around you 24/7. I don't seem to be talking to him right now. I'm talking to your grandmother. I have no idea. Maybe he's just on a different level for me to communicate with him at the moment. Okay, I think he just popped in. Sometimes to me it's like a little radio station where, they turn the dial and then I can't hear them, then they turn it back, then I can hear them. Just like a typical radio station on a dial. So the first thing I'm hearing from him is that says he's helping you over the next little while because the stuff you're worried about, and he's going to be coming in and into your mind to help you guide you through the few issues that are coming up. It says they're not major issues, but it's more about learning how to control how you deal with issues. because sometimes you do well on one side and the other side you don't, and it's more being able to learn what is the correct way to do it, and that's where he's going to help me, or help you. Um, so, it says a bit of conflict, but um, all in all, he says that you're going to survive. He says there's nothing major. It's not like you're going to lose your job or anything. Or he says he's just kind of saying as well as that he's just kind of giving me the feeling that either in the family or somewhere that there's just too much sugar getting into your system. So he says be careful of that. At least monitor a bit more. But all in all, he's got his feet up on your table and he's just staring at you throughout the whole night just to make sure you're okay. So you may feel like you're being watched every once in a while. But all in all, he says, I love you, I'm proud of you, and keep going. Just learn your lessons and find contentment. Anyway, so that's all I have for you. Had a bit of an accent there for a second. Okay. Okay, so it's where you stand in the chat. Now I'm referring to Facebook. Facebook got these numbers. So, completely new to me. Okay. Okay, Suzanne, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's really weird. Your video went off, then came 9NN from beginning to a naked lady. WAS9 went off now. Your voice is echoing. Okay, not understanding any of that. Okay, so let's go. No, thank you, Danny. Okay, so Teresa Murray. Oh yeah. Okay, so the cards are telling me that there's that it's time to make sure the family's okay, because you'd be focusing on a lot of things on your own. So it's more of you not being able to spend the time to focus on them. Just things that's going to shift for you, and you being more self-focused. I'm also kind of getting a message from a grandmother, I guess, that beware of beware of your knee being hurt. And I'm trying to show her what she means by that, but it has something to do with the car. So I don't know if the door's going to bang into your knee or somebody's going to do it, or if you have a kid, maybe they'll do it. But she says just be more aware of the stuff that's around you and what's happening around you when it comes to moving objects. Um, that could mean next 6 months, could be next 3 years, so who knows. Um, but she also says, monitor your money. She says that, don't overspend. Um, so, just kind of feeling from her is the next 6, 7 months, money wise, is just kind of stabilize, and then it's going to increase. But during that time, just beware of spending. As for the cards themselves, um, you know, we have 3 cards that are major cards. So, in the Hermit, spend some time to focus on yourself, as what the reading is. The Chariot, take the path you need to take, and the Emperor, um, you know, the Emperor is all about pure logic. So if you're having kind of movement with that, go with logic. Logic will lead you the correct way, whether it's the hard way or not. That will be up to you. Anyway, so that's for Teresa Mary. Did I miss a word there? Teresa Mary, yeah. I have to admit, these 2s and 4s and 5s and all that are kind of really annoying. Okay, so Suzanne Culver. I do not know how to say your last name, so I'd rather not. Culver. If I try to say it, it's just going to butcher it. I'm not good at saying names that make me twist my tongue. It's one of those things growing up where I've never been able to roll my tongue, or being able to whistle, just because just doesn't want to work that way. Anyway, so so over the next little while, we have the changes in the living environment. So the changing living environment's all about changing things in your life, or things perhaps being, forcibly changed. But again, it's just all about seeing things in a different way than you know them now. We also have here, the pure love, or the lover's card over here. That's kind of on the other side of that. And the rest are all reflective cards. So to me, that kind of means is that if you're in a relationship, that there might be a shift there. If you're not, then there's going to be a shift in one coming in, or perhaps interested. But there seems to be a focus in the change in what you see now in your life. They're not showing it to me, which means it's probably a lesson. But the other thing that I see on the other side is that it's good for you. So you're going to be happy when this happens, and then on the other side, you're going to be very happy. So wherever that flows, they're not telling me. I know it's not telling you much, or kind of a stupid read, but that's all they're showing me. So anyway, that's for Suzanne. Call. So Um, so just a reminder, if you guys are interested in any of the full reads, we have everything from $25 all the way to $85, different types of reads and whatnot. So if you're interested, just to enhance of what any kind of read I'm doing tonight, or any kind of, if you like what I do. Um, Also, if you like what I do as well, is hit the stars button. Is my stars button working? No. Check it out. Anyway, onwards we go. Cat Wilmote. Okay, so cat. Said lousy with last names. I should put up a sign right at the beginning saying, "Forgive me if I screw up your last name, but it will happen." Okay, so and I lost you. Okay. Oh, there you are. Anything from my mom or grandfather? Okay, so sorry, you rolled off the top, so I couldn't see the rest of it. My grandfather. The first thing your mother is saying is that, she's laughing. She says she's having a wonderful time over there. She says it's, without a body, it's so nice to be able to go from place to place, or be at every place at the same time. It's just sometimes it's a curse, though, because you're there and you're hearing what people say about you, and you really can't do anything about it. Because, it's just kind of like that pure love kind of thing that stops you from being really negative towards you. So sometimes she just taps her feet and, sits there, stares at you and saying, "Really? Like, really?" But she laughs and says, it's all in good humor as well. So she says, we've lived our lives. We've sitting on this side now on a table. We're watching all our family members as they struggle through things. And says it's like being grandparents. You sit there and you see your kids have their kids, and you sit there thinking, yeah, that was just like you. Yeah, kind of annoying, don't you think? She says that um, she's sorry for leaving so soon. But like she said, she's helping as many people she possibly can. Um, so don't worry about thinking that she's not there, because she is there. Says every time you think of her for no apparent reason, that's when she's talking to you, and hopefully somewhere along the line you might listen and do things. She says, but you do. She says you do when you need to, and that's the good thing. You don't have to listen all the time, only the important times. But she says that's part of learning in life. Anyway, she says, I'm just babbling on. I have no idea why. Just to let you know, she still loves you, and that she'll always be around. And I just heard him say bye. So anyway, that was for Kate Wilmot. Excuse me. Okay. Sue Bradley. Thank you, Philly. Um, so looking at the cards, Sue, again, kind of half split in a lot of things here. There's one card that says new beginnings, moving away from the negativity, and getting some, help from others and a lot of support with things that might be going on. However, on the other side is that, enjoying people, enjoying being around people at work or whatnot, but at the same time enjoying your alone time. Um, and that's usually a sign of an old soul. So, kids or people who just want to have that space to themselves just means they need to re-energize and refocus and they get miserable if they can't do that. But all in that, what I'm seeing is movement forward, uh, not as fast as you want to, but almost like the pace of a child, not being a child, but the pace of a child walking. Um, but getting to that door and opening it up and saying, hey, I'm finally made it. I'm finally be where I want to be. There's two kids walking after you, so I'm right behind you. So, um, seems fairly cryptic to me, but hopefully it means something to you. And part of the reason this is sometimes cryptic is because it's a public forum, and sometimes spirits just don't want to say exactly what they want to say, but hint at you. And I've had that happen during free reads a lot. Um, Mary Winkler. I don't know, Mary. Last time I did readings for you, it really sucked. Boy, was I ever off on that one. Still off. But let's try. Maybe I should bring my cards and do a reading for us at the Tim's parking lot, where you always hang out. Yeah. So the first thing is I don't see anything about being, free, what's going on at this point in time. But, the two cards come here. It says, be careful of the overspending, but you're going to have success with money over the next little while as you move forward with stuff. But also releasing yourself from the past. I'm kind of getting a message from a grandmother, I guess it is, who's basically saying, um, the time will come when you're able to be able to sit in your house with comfort and being able to enjoy life from there instead of in the car. But she says one thing is going to be very important to you is that uh, you need to keep pushing, whatever that means. Um, but she says, that it's in the lights. The door's in the lights now, so you're headed towards it. Um, but time is time. You can't change time. Time will move on its own. Um, anyway, so that's all I have from her. It was dead wrong in the last one. Anyway. Excuse me. Okay, Danielle. Songs. Um, um, okay, so the first thing I'm getting from him, Danielle, first thing I'm getting from him is that he's really happy these days. Um, he's just kind of looking at you and he's happy. He says, I know you're not happy, but he's happy with the path you're taking. Um, and it's kind of a sense of um, being able to move back and look at things in your relationship that you were not able to see. Now you can see them and now you can make a decision about it. Um, so every once in a while, like from my childhood, I always like to kick you in the ass or shove you up the stairs or something. Um, but I always did that out of love, but uh, still tries to do it. Big brothers. What can I say? Or brother. He said big brother. I'm not sure if he's big brother or not, but anyway. Um, so he's referring to him fixing relationship for you. Um, and he's, either fixing the one you have now to make long term or he's fixing a new one. He's not very specific about it, but he's just said he's working on it because, brothers have to fix these things. Um, at the same time, as he fixes it, he might smack you in the back of the head spiritually. Give you a little punch in the shoulder, all that kind of good stuff. But he loves you very much. Um, and he's certainly going to help you as much as he can to help you move forward through the issues you've been going through. He also says he's been the one that's been kind of irritating you at work. Just because he can. So, huh? just know that he's standing beside you wherever you go, whether you ask or not, or you think about it or not. He says he'll always be there. That's what brothers do. Anyway, so that's all I have for you. Hope it makes sense. Okay. Okay, so Debbie McCarthy. I'm gonna have to find some more people to come into YouTube. I've been off for so long, so. Okay, so Debbie. Okay, so there's a big shift coming up for you over the next little while. I'm kind of seeing, what they're showing me is a loss of a friend. And that's kind of a friend. I think it's going to be more of a passing away, or getting very ill and passing away, which is going to, take a lot of energy out of you. At the same time, I also see you focusing more on parents or somebody above you that might also need some help, not illness, but just slowing down and maybe need help doing things around the house or whatever. So there's a lot of wisdom that's going to be used up over the next little while. And wisdom in the sense of, where do I put my time? Where do I put myself? And where can I put myself in a place where I can help, but I'm not overly drained? So it's kind of a time for you to learn about yourself and learn where you need to go, getting the support from people. But, I'm kind of hearing from grandmother that you're a very strong lady, so as this goes through over the next year, you're not going to have any problems at all. She says sometimes you have to redistribute people as well as your own energy, and be that manager who can get all this done and still be able to sit down and watch your favorite show, even though it might be a stupid show, but it's your favorite show. They always say stupid shows because they probably wouldn't watch it. It's not like a slap. It's just more of a joke. My wife says it to me all the time. She says, you're always watching stupid shows. I watch YouTube. What can I say? So that was for Debbie McCarthy. Yeah, yours is a lot easier, Stephanie, than mine here on Facebook. Okay. Katie Raycroft. Okay, so the first message I'm getting is that there's going to be a lot of emotional negativity towards you. And it's kind of a negative one where it's not necessarily really overly negative, but it's also about being annoying. So it's going to be a time for you to sit down and say, I'm not going to put up with this anymore, whether it's a kid or partner or whatever, and just put an end to it and stop it before it gets any worse. At the same time, on the right-hand side, I see you having more money to do things, whether that's promotion or, not having to spend a bill, or perhaps a bill comes to an end, but definitely I'm seeing more money come in. It's almost like $300-400, so it's kind of like a fairly big amount, so it could be just an end of car payment or some kind of payment you're making. And with that, though, be careful of the overspending with that. Be open to new knowledge as well. So you're going to kind of get this little thoughts in your head saying, you know what, I really always wanted to do this, and perhaps I should try doing this now and whatnot. And that's where you're going to get those little pushes to try something. And these little pushes are basically saying, you have the time to do it now, so try it. Usually, when we start new projects, when we go meeting into groups or whatever to learn new stuff, then usually you meet somebody who's important in your life. So when we get pushed to join groups or whatnot, there's usually a reason for it. So everything seems to be pretty positive here. So anyway, so that's all I have for you. I hope it helps. Okay, everyone, that's it for me tonight. There's an echo now. Okay. So thanks everybody for coming. Hopefully we'll see you next week. And we'll continue on this journey. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.